I'm sorry to say that I have some shocking news. You do not own any of your movies on Blu-ray or DVD, and the same goes for me. I do not own Inception on 4K Blu-ray. I certainly do not own Barry Lyndon from the Criterion Collection, and I even don't own Charlie's Angels in German, and this makes me very sad. But do stick around and I will explain everything. Hello, my name's Elliot and this channel is all about collecting Blu-rays. I'm sorry for that startling intro, but I wanted to grab your attention. And it is true actually, but I'm going to explain all of this. The reason I'm making this video though is this last week there's been an article that's been floating around the internet and I've seen so many people share it. This article is about Amazon Prime Video, and this is of course Amazon's streaming service, but you can also purchase movies from Amazon to download and you keep them forever. Or, well, that's what is expected, but it's not actually the case. Said article goes on to discuss how you do not actually own any movie that you pay money for on Amazon, even these ones that you supposedly buy to keep forever. This isn't just Amazon, by the way. This is any online platform where you can purchase a movie to keep. This could be Apple, or if you're buying from Microsoft, or TikTok. Do they sell movies on TikTok yet? I'm not sure. So anyway, that's what this article is all about. If you purchase a movie digitally online to keep, you might not actually get to keep that forever. That's the crux of the argument. And why is this relevant to Blu-rays or purchasing DVDs or physical media in general? Well, actually, the same rule technically applies to physical media. So, this article came about because someone is trying to file a class action lawsuit against Amazon because they purchased something that has now disappeared from their account and they can't download it or watch it. Now, they are definitely not going to win that class action lawsuit, not just because it's Amazon and one of the biggest companies in the world and they have all the money to throw at legal proceedings, but because when you purchase something on Amazon Prime Video to keep forever, it actually states in the terms and conditions that licenses can lapse and you can actually lose access to these. Here's how it actually works. When you click to purchase a digital product on Amazon, you are purchasing a license to access that intellectual property, whether that's a movie, a TV show, or a piece of music, or an ebook. All you're getting is the license to actually access that intellectual property. The reason it can be taken off of Amazon's store is because they do not own this intellectual property. Amazon do not own James Bond, or not yet anyway. They probably could purchase the whole James Bond franchise, but they don't own those movies. They don't own Lawrence of Arabia. They don't own The Office. They don't own anything that you can think of unless it's an Amazon original property that they have put money in to produce. What Amazon does is they acquire the license from the right holders, so the people that actually do own the original movie or the television series. They purchase the right to take that and then sell onto us as customers. So when one of these movies that you have purchased to keep forever just disappears from Amazon and you can no longer watch it, it isn't because Amazon have decided to take this from you. It's not because they're evil, and maybe they could be evil, I don't know, but it's because the original rights holder has ceased their contract with Amazon, so Amazon can legally no longer provide that movie to you. Now, the reality is that Amazon do not want this to happen at all, because when you lose one of these movies and they lose the license, this is really bad for them, because as a customer, you are never going to buy another movie from them again because you fear that you will lose all the other movies that you buy. This is clearly a great argument for why physical media is so brilliant. Because when you have a movie on Blu-ray, you own that movie and it can never be taken away from you. Right? That's how it works? Well, no, because by the same logic, you don't actually own any of the movies that you have on Blu-ray. In my hands, I can hold this Barry Lyndon disc. Now, this is from the Criterion Collection, and I own this disc. And that is true. I own the disc. But I do not own what is on the disc. That's a key thing. I do not actually own what is on the disc. What Criterion sell to me is they sell a license for me to watch this movie and all of the special features on the disc. So I do not own Barry Lyndon, the film. Criterion do not own Barry Lyndon either, though they do own the special features that they have produced themselves. And down the line, in a few years, Criterion may lose the licensing rights to actually sell a copy of Barry Lyndon. And that is how Blu-rays go out of print, and that's how they go up in value on the secondary market. At that point, when Criterion lose the rights to sell Barry Lyndon on disc, you as the consumer actually lose the rights to view this on the disc. You don't actually have those rights anymore because you cannot get them from Criterion. Now, obviously, you still own this disc and you can still put it in the player, and yes, you can still watch it on the screen, but technically, and this is a pure technicality, you don't own the movie, and technically you aren't allowed to watch it because you haven't been granted the license to watch it. It sounds crazy, I know, and obviously no one is going to come knocking on your door to reclaim all of the Blu-rays that you have lost the license to view because they've fallen out of print. It's just never going to happen. It would be too costly, too logistically a mess, and also it's just such bad press that no one would want to buy discs ever again, probably. Obviously, I'm a big physical media guy, and I love that the discs cannot be taken away from you. So for years to come, I'm going to have all of these movies, even if Criterion and Arrow and whoever else loses the rights to actually sell the movies. I can still keep the disc, I can still pop it in the player, and I can watch it in brilliant uncompressed quality, which you can't get with a digital download. There is compression, but of course you could also lose the license, so there's just comfort in owning the discs. Okay, I think I'm about done here. Thank you very much for sticking with me to the end. I think it's an interesting thing to discuss, so if you have any particular thoughts on this whole Amazon digital debacle and physical media versus digital, please do leave them in the comments below. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe because it would be a big help to me in getting these videos out there. I'll say a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, my Fellini fanatics, and to Paul Bolzer, who is my Patreon producer. He's really helping keep this channel going, so thank you so much, Paul. And if anyone wants to check out my Patreon, go to patreon.com/boutique Blu-rays. If you want to stick around on the channel, click one of the interesting videos on screen right now, because I'm sure you can get some good recommendations or something from one of them. I'll be back very soon, but until then, stay well and keep watching great films.